know what you say gonna talk about. Let me grab my shit real quick.
Hey man,
we about to go.
Hey Black,
everybody,
your cousin.
Everybody tap in. It's about to go down in a few minutes. Hey, did you check the sounds on horns and all that good stuff, baby? What? Uh-oh. There you go.
We in here. Come on, y'all. We're about to get on Fuel A's. He hit that camera real fast. Mm-hmm. 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 He didn't want to hear what we said. Mm-hmm. We're going to start off by saying we miss you, Dr. C.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be with you next week. Hopefully. I know you've been working. I know you've been working, though. So, but we miss you. We out here. We having a ball. Yeah, we getting to it. And we need you around. We need the woman perspective, like Black Lift said. Because we doing crazy sometimes. And it could get real wild with Fuel. I'm telling you.
What you talking about?
It can get real wild with my guy. But guess what? I probably got some wild stuff to say too today. So you know what? We ain't gonna judge the brother today.
Nope. This is a no judgment zone.
It's a no judgment zone. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Hey, let me know when you want some of this money.
Oh, you got the
before we get started.
Get
this party started, right? Who we got? We ain't got nobody here yet. Who's in?
Let me see. I don't know, man. We might have dropped some because we missed last week.
Oh, let me hold on.
Man, come on, Phil. What you doing, man? We gotta get this thing started.
Come get your cousin.
Hold on, you see how nigga looked up at me?
I hope you looked up at his.
Whatever, cuz. Hey, you look shaped up today, dog. Yeah. What's up? What you do?
Yeah, nothing. I cut. I cut my hair.
No, I'm talking about your beard and your
yeah. I cut all that off and trim that up. And,
look at you, big dog. Look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta do that. I do that myself. I'm cheap.
No, that's good. You better than me. Your precision is good, brother.
All right, man. We're gonna get this started, man. It was something. What was you saying? We was talking about the riots and stuff too here.
Yeah, man. This is crazy, man. It's it was peaceful protests for a minute, and then got wicked. This is about a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then also just mass deportation. ICE literally was around the corner from deporting people literally around the corner from my grandmother's house.
Wow.
Right there off of 49th and Wadsworth. And so on the east side. So that's serious, man.
So you seen it just straight going down.
No, I didn't get to see it. I heard about it, but when they said the street, I'm like, that's literally like down the street from my grandma's house. That's not far at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump. So just to see that it's that close. And I've been seeing these like black trucks and cars and, you know what I'm saying, just little stuff that seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy out here, y'all. And it's just time for everybody, I guess, to stand in solidarity. Now, I guess. I know how I'm voting, you know, when that time comes. But it's a travesty. But I was speaking with my father, and we were talking about how just all of this stuff is going to inadvertently just show you how everybody is needed. And I was just looking at an article that was saying that with the immigrants being deported, it may cost California $275 billion of that 4.1 trillion economy.
Is that because here? Was that because of
and that's just because they pay
housekeepers and
housekeeping and jobs.
Home Depot?
That's mostly farming and construction,
agriculture, stuff like that.
That's farming and construction.
And then also it was saying that California gets on an average of $7,000 from the immigrants on annual tax. Just I'm guessing going to the store. Just I guess you know what I'm saying. So it's crazy. I'm not all the way informed on how it all the way breaks down, but it's a crazy article. It's like they account for about 9% of our economy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and it's not a large piece, but that's a nice piece, and I just want to see how we would adjust to it, and what it looks like moving forward. As far as the morality part of it, it's just terrible to see these things happening to children. And what's going on and families being torn apart. But America is showing its naked face, and it's always been this way. Yeah. But yeah, that's it on that right now.
Okay. Or is it? But they're deporting more than just the Latinos, though. Of course, right?
They deporting anybody
else.
Yeah.
Undocumented citizens.
But it's just the majority of the Latinos that's here, especially here in LA. So, what about in Texas, Lift? Have you heard anything, or what's the deal going on there?
I'm in San Antonio, my boy. This is like the nearest big city from the border, from Laredo,
right?
And they got ICE everywhere, man. I mean, on all the social medias, they putting out ICE warnings and stuff like that. And part of the stuff that's bothering me is that you have some of these red pill people that are talking about that, and I'm just gonna be blunt about it. They talking about we as black people shouldn't be involved. This ain't our fight. They try to point to the fact that during Black Lives Matter, they didn't help us out, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do that.
Well, okay. I kind of agree to it. It is not our fight in a way, because it is the fact that I do wonder. In all fairness, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we should all show up for each other and everybody, or whatever the case may be. But in all fairness, do everybody show up for us? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I kind of get that, why someone would say that. Now, would I agree 100%? Maybe no, because I feel like everybody, when there's something that's going wrong, everybody need to fight, no matter what race you are.
And mom just hit it on the head. That's my point. My point is, Mom said, but who's to say we aren't next? The point of it is that it's not a reciprocal thing. It's not a thing about what you do for me or what I do for you. We're talking about the Constitution of the United States.
Right.
That's the document that governs everybody.
Exactly.
And if these people feel like they can come and disappear these people to all these foreign countries,
I got you.
What makes you think they can't come and disappear you?
True that. True
that. And then you don't even get due process.
You
know what I mean? They don't allow you time to defend yourself. They don't allow you time to do anything. These vans and these mass people is coming out here disappearing people. And the other bad part about it is that there have been a couple of cases where it was people faking like they was that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
white supremacists and stuff out here in mass and all this other stuff, faking like they ICE. And disappearing people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so the point is, it needs to be stopped. I don't look. I'm gonna stand up for the Constitution. I don't give a damn who say whatever. They can say whatever they want, because if Trump and his administration can get away with this, if you think they can't get away with more, you out your tree. This is just the beginning. And if the courts allow this to happen, more and more stuff's gonna come down the pipe.
What's up, Rob? Rob's in the house. Mom's in the house. Jill's in the house. Starling is in the house. We about to go on here to get it popping. Woo! I see the numbers going up. I'm glad y'all here. We about to go ahead and get it doing. Right, man? Yeah, you did make a great point because you just made me realize certain things as well.
That's what I'm talking about. It's so about this country as a whole.
That's what's up. All right, let's get started, baby. Here we go.
All our illusions will disappear, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Just Reasons, y'all. Fired up Thursday. It's your boy Fuel in the house.
Fat Boy in the building. You already know what type of time we on. We are here.
Black Lifting, the place to be. Let's get it going.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got a great show for you guys today. Some good topics, some real good topics today. And I hope we don't even get off the topic with the stuff we about to talk about because, yeah, it's going to get kind of crazy with these questions here, especially the dear brothers and sisters. So stay tuned for that. And y'all know also we got Fat Boy with History and Blackness coming up as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Man, let's get this started. Oh, let me shout out again before we go into it. My son Cyrell's on there. What's up, baby? What's up, son? I appreciate you.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? What's
right.
Man?
He's doing good in Chicago and Chi-Town. That's what's happening, man.
Too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congrats.
All right, so let's go into the first topic. Let's get it going. Let's get cracking. I only think, Liv, you know what's going on, do you?
With what?
Should men like? Oh no, not that one. It's which one was it, Fat Boy? Oh, can a man show fear and still remain masculine? Can a man show fear and still remain masculine
in a relationship?
In a relationship. So I, of course, you got a video with a pretty young lady that I had to say pretty because she is cute. But anyway, I want to play it for you guys, and y'all let me know what y'all think with this question. Sorry, hold up. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Okay, family. So I just learned that a man cannot have full control and full access to his feelings. So what was explained to me is, let's say someone broke in a house, right? And everyone is afraid. Everyone is fearful, right? But only the woman is allowed to be scared because he then has to get up and protect his family. If they are arguing, he has to console her, and he can't be consoled because she's the woman. The man can express what he feels because her feelings are supposed to be far greater than his. And I never really thought about it that way. He says, if they lose the child, everyone consoles the mother. No one consoles the father. If they lose a loved one, even though it could be his family, they always console her. How you holding up? How you doing this for him? I was like, is it really like that? See, this is why I don't like that saying, happy wife, happy life. Because it, to me, it really, even listening to that conversation, it is literally saying you as a man have to put your feelings on the back burner, because the only way that your marriage or your relationship is going to be happy is if the woman is happy. Therefore, you're not allowed to think, feel, react. Like you become a robot in this relationship because only one person is important. Y'all listen. I don't want somebody that operates the way I want him to. I don't want somebody that's not allowed to think and feel, be vulnerable, react. Like, I don't want that. Why would anybody want that out of a person? Y'all, is that really how y'all feel? Y'all could tell me the truth. Is that how y'all feel in your relationship? Y'all feel less than? I want to know.
Yes, indeed. And we want to know too. We want to know what you think about that. What you think about that? Well,
Oh, that's enough.
who want to go first? Oh, y'all look at you.
Go ahead, fat boy.
Oh, y'all gotta throw the usher out there.
Oh man, see, you over here snacking. I'm gonna need you to start talking.
I know, right?
No,
that part.
Shit, that was a lot.
was.
I think that to answer her question, I think a lot of men do deal with that. And I'm gonna get into the comments in a little bit, but I think a lot of men do deal with that. I think it's definitely the partner that you choose, that we choose as men, and understanding how to teach your partner how to create a space for you. And then also it's up to men to be honest, right, and transparent on how they feel in those moments, right? You are still supposed to protect and provide, but it's also able to have a space to where say, man, I was a little nervous and afraid too. I'm gonna make sure y'all safe, of course, but I was a little nervous, right? And having that transparency. But you also have to have a partner, right? That sees you for more than what society says that a man or what masculinity is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that masculinity is being able to express when you are in fear and when you don't know, and when you're unsure. I think that makes you masculine because you're able to put aside your ego.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to put aside how you feel for the betterment of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that due to societal pressures and things like that, or just environments and the way people think, I think that is kind of shunned upon for men to show themselves. But I think that it's a detriment to us as men because we perpetuate it. We speak against it, but in the same breath we perpetuate it because we don't adopt speaking up on fear. We don't adopt speaking up about raw emotions and being transparent with our women and saying, hey, I wasn't emotionally there. I was fearful in a situation. Like after you've resolved the situation,
Mm-hmm.
my heart was beating too bad. You know what I'm saying? I was nervous. I'm gonna make sure we're safe, whatever. I think that it's very important that you have a partner. And Jill kind of hits it over the head here. And I'm gonna just jump ahead real quick because I think she made a great point. She said, depends on whether you have a secure and self-confident partner who understands that fear is different from masculinity. Come on now. Unfortunately, our society does associate the two, and that's it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly what I was saying. I actually scanned it, Jill, but that's exactly what I was saying. I think that it's very important as men and women. I don't want to. But we're speaking of men, I think that it's very important that we be careful how we pick our spouses and the women that we choose to deal with.
Right.
It goes back to what Black Lip always says about you gotta focus on being a good single. Then you throw me a look at
I got you, man. My bad.
You know, move the camera. What?
My bad.
You gotta focus on being a good single before you can be in a good couple.
Mm-hmm.
However, you also have to understand on both sides what that looks like, right? And what it looks like to be a good single person and create. Yeah, Jen is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, get out of here.
All right. So, Mom said also, he is not made of steel and he has a right to show some emotion. LL Cool J admitted he was scared when someone broke in his house. This shows insensitivity towards his feelings, ability to vulnerable. That's true. You know, I agree with what Fat Boy was saying. It's on the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying? If she knows you, she knows you. She's going to be respectful and know that you're the man and you're masculine. And when you get into an emotional state or fear of something or whatever, it doesn't make you a weak man. You know, that makes you just a man, that it makes you just a person. You're a human. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I agree with you, Fat Boy, on that as well. You know, go ahead, Liv.
No, I mean, I agree with that 100%. Jill says being brave is doing things when you're scared. Sexual to me, if you were never afraid, then did you really overcome anything?
Come on,
man.
You know what?
Watch out, Jill.
We were having conversations about that earlier today. You know, is that everybody has had some type of trauma in their life, and if you've never overcome any of that drama, or you've even confronted it, are you really a human being? You know what I mean? We as humans, fear is something that we're born with, unfortunately.
Natural.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And for somebody to try to push that out of one side to basically have them define who they are is crazy.
That's true. That's
it's about, that's part of what we need to do as modern men, is be able to be in touch with our feelings without being called a cuck or bum or whatever.
Weak,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, and that to me is what makes you a better person. If you can make it through all of those things.
What do you guys say to someone that does? I mean, I pretty much know the answer already, but I just want to hear y'all say it. To a relationship there where they feel that the woman is more masculine than the man. You know, when you say,
I don't know. It comes down to everybody has a role in the relationship. You know what I mean? I'll keep it a buck. Not unfortunately. I'm about to say unfortunately. Some women like their dudes a little softer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to tell. That's what you have to tell everybody. That there's somebody out there for everybody. There's somebody that's going to match your energy the way it needs to be matched. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to, like I said, there are some women that like that. There's some men that like that.
Yeah, but what if that's can be a cause of the relationship breaking up, or the cause of them not staying together is because she's more masculine, or she's more, she's the tough one or whatever in the relationship, And my question behind that is, why would you even be in the relationship?
Exactly. Then that means
why would you even be with that person?
You weren't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? That's what I say when it comes down to, you have to be strong enough to walk away from a relationship. That's when you show your real strength. A coward can sit there and stay in a relationship for 29 years.
Yeah, well, no, he said 29. I know where that came from.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know where that came from.
You see what I'm saying? Just because you're scared to leave, or you scared to strike out on your own, or you scared to sleep alone, or whatever your fear is.
Or you stand in a relationship.
That's a coward's way out. A person that's strong is someone that's strong enough to understand that you're not for me, I'm not for you. We can still be friends, but let's move on. Let's get out of something before we get to the point where we're basically just hurting each other.
Yeah. Big O is in the house. What's up, Big O? I be lying. Go ahead. Go ahead, this one.
So Jill says a woman becomes more masculine than a man when the man doesn't step up and make her feel safe and secure in life and a relationship. A strong and secure man allows a woman to be feminine.
True that.
I agree, Jill.
What's up, Kathy Pitts in the house? What's up, Kathy?
I really do. I also think that some women are using that to manipulate being overly masculine.
Hold on. What do you mean?
I think some women are using that statement, not Jill, because she, you know what I'm saying, right? I think a lot of women are overly masculine, and they're using that statement as an excuse and saying, well, if you were masculine enough, I will automatically fall into my feminine energy.
Right.
And I think that what happens is there's a misconception, right? You are absolutely correct, but then you also have to be ready to bask in that feminine energy. It didn't happen over osmosis, right? Absolutely, Black Lip gave you the space, right, and allowed you to be feminine, but you also had dealt with another situation where it was time for you to give up that range, right? And you wanted to, right? You were looking for that. I think a lot of time women use that as an excuse because they're not looking really to live in their feminine energy, right? I think that they're looking to live in a masculine energy, and women who are in a good relationship like yourself, who will use that and be absolutely correct, right? They'll use that as out of context in a form of manipulation to say, well, I'm not masculine. I'm overly masculine, or I'm masculine because you're not making sure I'm in my feminine energy, or I respond this way to you because I don't feel comfortable in my feminine energy. When all actuality, it's just that you have not processed some unpacked trauma or some things like that. So I think that how that is correct. I think that we have to sometimes put more context to that, because I've been seeing it as a form of manipulation.
Is it a double standard if a woman is masculine or whatever, and she's a tough one in the relationship, but then when she gets scared, she can go back into her feminine ways?
So yeah, so like what Fat Boy said, Fat Boy, you hit it on the head. Mm-hmm. The thing is that a lot of women will use that as a cop out. Mm-hmm. To be like, okay, you're not stepping up to be the man, so I'm not gonna be feminine. But here's the thing: if a dude came to step to her, and not saying try to put his pimp hand down, but if he tried to take over, she wouldn't allow that to happen.
Anyway, come on.
You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't allow that to happen anyway. So they try to use that you wasn't man enough as a cop out to just really understand that you wasn't gonna give it up no way.
Anyway, because
you know what I mean? Ready. There was no way. Look, I could come in here and be Billy D. Williams, Mac Daddy Mac, and you still was not gonna give up them reins, because once again, you have some unpacked trauma. Where you have some issues that are not going to allow you to be in that subservient role.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I mean? And being feminine, let me just correct that real quick though. Being feminine doesn't mean that you're subservient.
Nope.
True.
Because my wife is not, Jill is not subservient to me. You know what I mean? But she's feminine, but that doesn't mean that you have to be subservant. You ain't got to kiss my feet and kiss the rings and why you ain't got to do all that.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, if I still think that a true partnership, still has to be a 50-50 type thing.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, everybody can play a separate role within that 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and trying to say that oh well, if you wasn't man enough, so now I can't be the woman because you not being a man. Whatever, lady.
O said, I believe men fear what Shaq said. You can't never let a woman know everything about you, because when they get mad at you, they will use it against you.
Unfortunately, Big O, I agree to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I was to a certain extent.
It still goes back to the partner you choose, though, right? It goes back to that, like we said in the beginning. Unfortunately, that does happen a lot. However, when that does happen, fellas, I think that's a red flag for us as men to start to say that, hey, this may not be the woman for me. Because I share the level of transparency, I share the level of vulnerability with her, and yet and still she used that against me. You get what I'm saying? And so as men, then we have to set a certain standard for ourselves and say, hey, I don't think that I'm ready. I don't think that I don't want to share anymore with women, but this is just not the woman that's for me because I can't share with her. And when I do share with her, she uses it against me.
And Heather is dead on point. Men
what up, Heather?
Yes, Heather says men do it too, Big O, and they really do. But that's when, once again, when you have to unpack it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason Shaq, I mean, I can see when Shaq said that, Shaq has a lot of unpacked trauma.
Yeah.
That he's not dealing with.
You think
He
so from the first marriage?
From Shaq,
just
yeah,
growing
man.
up without his
That's why he's
biological father.
He's not married now.
Right.
See, Shawnee got to a point that she's got him scared of marriage.
Mm.
But once again, it's unpacked trauma that he has.
Mm-hmm.
If you are with someone and you tell someone intimately and they use that against you, it's time to get out.
Exactly.
You have to go.
And be okay with it. That's the thing. Be okay with it. Don't be hurt. Don't be,
Exactly.
You don't have to think about it no more.
Once again, you have to get out before you get to the hurt and feelings petty part.
Exactly.
Because that's when the stuff really hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
She out in the backyard burning your drawers. You done took the keys to the car. Why
the drawers, dog? Why the drawers? Why burning the drawers?
All that foolishness. All that foolishness.
Burning the drawers.
Hey, look, that's that Creole thing. Something, burying the drawers.
That is. True that.
Hey, look, hey, they burn your drawers. That thing never work again.
I know,
but anyway,
right?
So that's what I'm saying is that if someone uses your intimate secrets against you, that's a problem. And that's something that if you feel like you can get counseling and get past it, okay, cool. Yeah. But if you try it and it doesn't work, hey, stay friends, but get out of the relationship because it's not going to work.
That part.
And we have to learn.
Read this
go with that. Jill says, I've been in 2 serious relationships. One used everything against me. The other never does. It's who you choose as a partner.
True.
I agree.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're saying. Exactly.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Good shit, y'all. Hey, all right, man. Well, y'all know what time it is.
It's my time.
It's your time, dog. Can I get his theme music?
Okay. Man, hit the right button. Come on now.
Look, give me my controls back, damn it. You up here, look, you still doing homework over there. Hit the button, man. Hit it.
Oh, I'm tripping. I don't want to got it.
Oh my God!
I was pulling up. Hold on now.
Hey, you know what? It's weird. It's weird having him in the studio now.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's that time. History of Blackness with my boy, Fat Boy, in the house. Let's go, baby.
Let's get it. Hold on, y'all. My damn thing is tripping. Hold up. Let me pull it up. Don't trip on me.
I was going to say, bro, that is not Michelle Lee Chin.
No. Where you get that from?
That's Karen Bass.
Yeah. That's who it is.
Okay. I was going to say, man, that name, the name in the picture don't match, my brother.
That's Karen Bass.
I know. Why does the name on there say Michelle Lee Chin or Michael Lee Chin?
Where you see that at?
On the screen.
That's what you got up there. Hey, man, come get your cousin, Black.
Hey, no, seriously, dog. On my end right here, it doesn't say that. That's why I'm.
Nah, my brother, it says Michael Lee Chin.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he rushing me. Come get your cousin, Black Liv. That's Karen Bass.
No, I don't know why it's saying that though. That's the thing.
Just get rid of the title and just tell everybody it's Karen Bass. This Karen Bass, the mayor of New York, the mayor of LA.
LA, come on now.
On my end, it's not saying that.
Man,
that's
take the tag down.
I'll say that.
Take the tag down. Hey, man.
I'm telling you, that's not me, dog. That's on the.
All right, there you go. Okay,
I know what I see.
No, for real. Sorry, y'all, but today we have a special one. Our mayor in California, Karen Ruth Bass. Born October 3rd, 1953. She's an American American physician assistant, community organizer, and political leader whose career has spanned healthcare, grassroots activism, and high-ranking public office. Raised in Venice and Fairfax neighborhoods of Los Angeles, she became politically active as a teenager, volunteering for Robert F. Kennedy's 1968 presidential campaign. She earned her degree as a physician assistant from the U.S. Keck School of Medicine and later completed a master's in social work from the University of Southern California in 1990. Bass founded the Community Coalition in Southern Los Angeles, a grassroots organization aimed at addressing the root causes of addiction, poverty, and crime, especially in Black and brown communities devastated by the crack cocaine epidemic. Bass entered public office in 2004 as a member of California State's Assembly and made history in 2008 as the first African-American woman in the United States to serve as Speaker of a state legislature. She was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2010, representing California's 37th district, and chaired the Congressional Black Caucus during her tenure. She was a key force behind criminal justice reform, such as the First Step Act and the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. On December 12, 2022, she was sworn in as the 43rd mayor of Los Angeles, becoming the city's first female and second black mayor. Her administration has prioritized housing, homelessness, public safety, and immigrant protection, solidifying her reputation as a pragmatic, equity-driven leader.
Karen Bass. Karen Bass. No. So what do you think about the job that because she came into a big job, yeah.
But she doing I feel like she's done great with responding to everything. She can only do as much as they allow her to.
Mm-hmm.
I do see that she's boots on the ground most of the time. She's definitely she was for the protest. She wasn't for the riot, and of course, as a mayor, I think she's definitely. I think she's great for the job. Don't you think she's doing great for the job? Honestly.
Okay.
I would re-elect her for sure. And then
how long? When is the
dude? Okay, she just got in.
Got in office, yeah.
No, but she's been in there. She's been in 2 years now, at least.
I don't think it's been 2 years. I think it's been a year.
No, it's been 2 years because last year she was supposed to have been, cleaning up the homeless or whatever, areas or whatever.
Like a year and a half or so.
Something like that.
But like kind of like go back to she's been doing to go to your point, Blacklift. She's been doing a great job so far, but she ain't been in there long enough to really make
a big difference.
Right.
But you know what?
I think that she will. Though.
But this is the thing, though. Because at least I think because the fact that she's a black woman or whatever, and she's into the, she's in the position that she's in, the expectation is a lot more than when it was with other, officials that was in office at the time. You know what I'm saying? The mayors that were before them, you know what I'm saying? It's like most mayors or whatever. Yes, it takes time, 2 years, 3 years to get things going the way you want to without any kind of slack from, the public and all that stuff or whatever, and opinionating and all that type of stuff or whatever. But being that she's black, it's just like, oh, she ain't doing nothing. Oh, this is, you see all the shit that hit her already, besides the homeless with the fires, all the, and then now the riots. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's dealing with a lot.
And what people don't understand is that because she is the mayor of the second largest city in America, she has a lot of federal interference in what she does.
Yes, basically, exactly, yes.
And so basically, she's doing a great job with what she has to deal with because who is always going to try to stick his nose in and mess stuff up and this and that and the other and the third. So
just because she's a sister.
Yeah. What's up? Again, Heather. Oh, Marlon's in the house. What's up, Marlon?
Happy Juneteenth, Marlon.
Caitlin's in the house. Caitlin, what's up? Happy Juneteenth, man. Appreciate it. Hey, what y'all doing for the Juneteenth? Anybody? Y'all doing anything, man?
Man, Juneteenth over. What you talking about? It's today.
It's today. Oh, happy birthday to my cousin, Arvin. Arvin, man. I know.
Yeah, it's Arvin's birthday today.
Happy birthday, cuz.
Arvin Don Thompson.
Arvin Don Thompson. I know, right? That's what's up. Yeah. All right. All right, let's get into the next one, man. Reparation. And the question is, reparation, do you think it should benefit our community, and are they owed? Who came up with this?
I did, of course.
Oh, okay.
Good shit.
And what made you, what was the
thoughts
behind it?
So for me, what made me think about it was just the fact that it'll probably never happen. However, you know, people said that, but I don't know if you know, but the city of Tulsa gave reparations to some people in Greenwood.
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
The Oklahoma Supreme Court gave some of those people reparations for what happened in Greenwood. Yes.
Mhm. Wow.
And so that's kind of like something that everybody said would never happen, but it happened.
Mhm.
So who's to say that it won't happen with us? But a bigger point to me is like I'm interested to know for you guys, what do you think reparations would look like? Do you think it should be money? Do you think it should be land? You know what I mean? What to you guys would be fair when it comes to
Both.
reparations?
Both.
I think it'd be more
Both.
than that.
It should be both. You know, it should be money and it should be land. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically what's owed. You know what I mean? That's basically what they took from us. You know, so why not repay us what you owe us? You know, that type of thing. So I have to go with both.
Well, the land is something that they promised years ago, so they already owe us that.
The 40 acres in the middle, yeah.
They already owe us that. So that's something they literally owe us. Like, all jokes aside, forget reparations, they literally owe us land, at least. So we're not gonna go there. But I think that, to answer your question, Black Live, all jokes aside, I think that it's more than just monies and land, man. I think that it's access to funding. I think it's access to the so-called American dream. I think it's funding of institutions that only support not people of color, but ADOS, as you say, American descendants of slaves. I think that there should be hospitals. I think technology. We should be letting the AI, right?
But do you guys think that's what they're afraid of?
I think that is more. I think that, of course, exactly what they're afraid of.
Exactly.
I think that we need more infrastructure, because I think that if they just give us monies, we just gonna make everybody else rich like we've been doing. I think that monies, a system to where people could access, like I say, capital and be able to chase the so-called American dream. I think that's more important than anything, because I think that money is funny, right? People don't understand that the more money you have, the more money that they tax. And so with reparations, I'm guessing to be a gift, and they will tax it. But if we don't have classes on financial literacy, right, and we don't have understanding of setting up will and trust and all of these things.
Okay, but the things you're mentioning all take money to get to.
Yeah, but you.
So what I'm saying is if we're educated enough to take those money or whatever, if we're not, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the fair question.
If it's money or if it's land. Okay, so obviously they're not going to give it land because they know we're going to do it. We're going to build it. We're going to build it. It's going to outdo any fucking body. You know what I'm saying? So they already know that. So when it comes to money or whatever, yes, we can have that money to educate our youth, educate our people, and have financial freedom for them as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. That's why we haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, but I think that just giving us money and telling us to create institutions of financial literacy, when most Black people don't even understand or know what financial literacy is, it's just setting up to have more consumers, for real, right? I think that there should be things put in place. I mean, just cutting the check is great. I think it's cool to say if we won reparations, they cut the check. However, I think that there should be institutions put into place that say, when you get this money, this is how it be set. It should be the trust should be created not outside your money. That's the point I'm making. So I should be getting, say, each American should be getting $400,000 placed into a family trust that has IULs purchased for each living family of that descendant, right? Purchased by the government, right? And then with this comes each family, each ADOS gets this, and then with this they get this, right? We're going to give funding. We're going to open up this much stipend to HBCUs, or we're going to make this much stipends to forget HBCUs. You guys can create all new funding. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Any new funding institution. Not only that, we're going to give you access to capital to build factories and farming and things like that, to where you can be able to produce produce and rubber and wool and all of the textiles and things things that help move this country, right? I think that it's more than just monies. We need to create something. We need to be in front of, we need to be right in the middle of things where we understand GDP. You know what I'm saying? We understand the economic value or impact in the city that you in. Being like if you in Los Angeles, your 4.1 trillion economy, you're the fourth largest economy, and what that looks like, right? You need to understand this when you're coming into a immense amount of wealth, 400,000, 500,000, because if you do not know, or $1.5 million, that $1.5 million would be gone in 2 weeks.
Let's get like Jill just said. I think. Go ahead.
Let me get on this. So Kathy first said free education and land. Jill says, I think reparations should look like allowing free college, trade school to at least 2 generations and access to land and homes at low interest rates to allow generational wealth to begin.
That is like the smartest
so
shit.
That and she got that. We've talked about that.
Yeah, I like that.
And I've said that before. And Jill said that would be a small start.
Exactly.
And I say that because I don't know if y'all saw Chappelle's show when he did his joke about when the first reparation checks go out, the stock in Newport cigarettes and Cadillac go through the roof.
No, for
you know
real.
what I'm saying?
No, for real.
But that's the ignorance. But I think
because they would spend all that money, so therefore I'm not gonna say you shouldn't give financially illiterate people money like that.
Capital. Nope.
Well, before and I want to say too, I mean, because it's not, I'm talking for our people. That would have been a case before social media, before the education that we see of people getting things or people teaching, how to do your credit and stuff. We wasn't getting that when we was younger, So I would say for more, you got ignorance or whatever. We're always going to have the ignorant ones that's just blow it or whatever to, like you said, a Cadillac or, just frivolously spending money for anything or whatever, instead of trying to be, financially secure for the rest of their lives and their families, generation to generation, but I think I don't want to give our culture, our race, cut us short on knowing some things, because we do know it's out there. The education is out there to get or whatever. So it's not like
masses, though.
Yeah, no, it is to the masses.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? There's
no
no way that nobody can sit here and say that they cannot learn something.
This is the thing, Phil. You're speaking for. I always say this. You're speaking for.
I'm speaking for what?
Just because you have social media, don't mean you follow.
I'm not saying that you. I'm not saying. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, because you're putting it in the mouth. You're putting it in the wrong mouth. I didn't say that.
Listen what I'm saying. Just because you have access to knowledge does not mean you understand that knowledge. And then one step further does not mean you know how to implement that knowledge. So yes, you have a great point that there is more access and there is more information or access to information now. But like Black Liv said, the masses don't have that access and don't have that mentality. Right. And so I also think
that there's difference from mentality and have the masses, because if they don't have the mentality, that's a whole different thing. But as a mass of our culture and our people, we do have it. What are you talking about?
No,
you're talking about. I don't speak us short. I don't speak us short that way.
Statistics show that we don't have it.
No, statistics shows that we don't have things to do it. We don't have the education. We don't have the means. We don't have the grants and all of that stuff to go forth of that.
Currently, African Americans in this country have a $4 trillion buying power. Yet we own nothing. We produce nothing. So that means that we lack financial literacy. That's a period. That's period.
It's not and yes,
there is more action. There is more access to it, but not everybody is in that state of mind to take in that. You have more people.
I never said everybody was in the state of mind. I'm just saying this. I'm not saying everybody's not in the state of mind. I'm saying that it is out there and it is known for and more than what it used to be before the social media. That's all I'm saying. So I wasn't saying it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. So, and this is kind of gonna be something to my point. What happens every February of every year You know what I'm talking about?
What you talking about? The Black History Month?
No.
What?
Income tax refunds. And these people, as soon as they get that money,
they buy a car.
They go out and they buying cars that's gonna be repoed in 2 months. They buying TVs that's gonna look after I wait till March or April, and I go to the pawn shop and buy brand new TVs because I know Kiki and them done pawned it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to organize their money. They don't know how to use. They think that money is just basically free money that they gonna get, and that's only like I know people that get $5-6 grand back in income tax refund with a couple kids. You know what I'm saying? And they just think that's free money and they blow it. So what do you think is gonna happen if they get $100,000? They're gonna blow it because they don't know and they won't know what to do with that money and how to make that money work for them and how to stretch that money far enough. That's what Fat Boy is saying. Now, real quick, the free education and land is probably the smartest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because if you educate people and then when you have land, how do you think all these pilgrims got the money that they got? Because it was land. Land is access to wealth. You can borrow against it. You can do this. You can do that. Land is the key. And that's how we got shut out of the American dream because we didn't own anything. We had no land. We had nothing. You know, Phil, you know, man, my mama rented that house for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And like Kathy says, her family has 40 acres in East Texas. And the slave owner side of the Pitts family hates that we have it. And trust me, Kathy, we had land in East Texas as well. But what happened, which is what another part of the problem, when the elders died, the youngsters knew they was never going back there. So what did they do? They sold the land for money. They just wanted that cash. You know what I'm saying? They moved to Dallas and Houston and just let the land go to whoever the highest bidder was. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean. When it comes to money, people get money hungry. And when they get that money, they don't know what to do with it.
No, the part I said I disagree to is the fact that they don't know. The fact is what they choose to do, not the fact that they don't know it. Because it's out here. It's out there. We've talked about it. People talk about it. Everybody talk about it. It pops up on your phone. So it's not like what you don't know. It's just what you choose or not to do. And that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? With us, that we haven't had so much in so long. When we finally got to something to be able to get something with some kind of comfort, we go for that instead of learning what long jeopardy is for it. You know, that's what that's the point that I was making. I wasn't saying that what Fat Boy was saying. I wasn't saying that you know, we don't, I mean, that we doesn't choose to do it. It's just the fact that basically sometimes, I take that back. They choose not to do certain things.
Well, of course,
but I'm saying that. But my point was that it is out there. It is educated. If you got for the land and education or whatever the case may be, it would be out there. But do they choose to come to learn? You know, that's my point. That's the whole point that I was trying to make, guys.
So Phil, like I tell you, so I have older daughters. And I've told, and I have younger daughters, and I've told my daughters over and over, all right, bet, I know you're getting 6 on this tax refund, right? Why don't you go on ahead and pay your rent ahead for a month or 2? You know what I'm saying? Get some groceries up in this piece, you know, pay a car payment, pay your car insurance up. You know how many times that happened? I'm counting on one hand, 0. None, never one, not because one.
They chose to.
So, but once again,
people lack finding, but it's a choice because you lack the understanding of why I saved the dollar. So I agree with you what you're saying, Fuel, that it is people's choice, but it's understanding that it's their lack of knowledge is the reason why they choose that. Right? It's not because they just choose not to do it, because I can see stuff go all up and down my page. I can see millionaires all the time talking talking about profiting off of real estate and fixing your credit. But if I think all that stuff is a scam, because that's what the mentality that I'm in, I'm never gonna choose that. Or if I don't know, like Black Lift said, that I could take this instead of trying to boss up on everybody this year, I can take this 6,000 and get ahead for the year. And while everybody's starving and scraping around June or around April, like you said, I'm gonna be in a good space because I'm gonna be able to put my money up. People don't understand that. Like, people really don't understand that. And it took me. I was one of them people who would go to work, spend the money, go to work, spend the money, go to work, spend the money. People live check to check because they lack knowledge, and that's not just African American people. That's just the American economy. Yeah, that's just the American economy. That's the world economy. Right, that most people choose to do different things with their finances. Exactly. And so, if you now unpack that with people who have been told that without these certain items, right, you not anything. So you got to think about, there's a lot of people that's they first 200,000 is just going to look good. You get what I'm saying?
Newport's a Cadillac, boy.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't like to minimize that. I like to unpack that and understand that as leaders or when we propose these kind of things, we need to be mindful of that, because this is one of them situations where the whole ADOS diaspora can benefit generationally, like Jill said, right? This is a chance to kind of change things generationally, so it needs to be serious, right? It needs to be things that are implemented properly, because if they are not implemented properly, then it's just a waste of reparation and it's a waste of time. You get what I'm saying? Because just to say we had the money and we still have no political power, we still have no economic power, we still don't produce anything. We just made LVMH rich, or we just made Cadillac rich, or we made Newport rich, or we made Palmolive rich, or we made Coca-Cola rich. You get what I'm saying? And we didn't make all of these companies rich, and we haven't created our own Coca-Cola, or we haven't created our own industries and textile and factories where we can produce generational wealth, and we can be Rothschilds, and we can be Charles Schwab's, and we can be Walmart, right? Until we talking like that, it's pointless to do reparations, because it's just going to make other cultures rich, because that's what we have been accustomed and programmed to do.
Wow.
But here's another part of that whole issue, which I've discussed with you guys here before. The reason that reparations will never happen is because those of us that are in power will never get a piece of that money. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the black leaders that are in the Congress and Senates and stuff like that are not ADOS. Nope. Their parents are immigrants.
They're people of color.
Okay. I mean, Miss Harris, you know, her parents were immigrants. India and Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So all the people that make the rules won't get a dime. They won't see a dime of this. So that's why it's not being proposed, and it won't be proposed, because the ADOS community is getting smaller and smaller and smaller within the black community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna use something as an example. Like, if you notice, like, most of the black NFL players are African. And I mean, like they're first generation Americans. Like, their parents came here like when they was little from Africa. You know what I mean? And so that's why, you know, it's a difficult fight, and it's one that I pray will be won, but I don't think it will be, because those in power don't want it to be won, because they don't see there's no benefit to them.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And that's the issue that we're gonna continue to fight with. That's the question we're gonna continue to fight with, y'all, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think people still prescribe to the Talented 10th by W.E. Du Bois, and I think that they think that only 10% of the African American diaspora should control the black wealth. But what I realize is that's just not working, because the 10% doesn't know how to open the door. Right, the 10% doesn't know how to let everybody in. People don't understand why Malcolm X, why Martin Luther King was so revered, because they let everybody in, and they understood the importance of letting everybody in, and everybody not necessarily thinking as a monolithic, but at least being on one accord, right, and understanding the power of what that did. And I think that goes along with reparations. We need these, like you said, the people who are first generation, who are children of first or first generation children of immigrants. I think that we need to understand that the ADOS is not coming to take and replace you as well and just strengthen us as a diaspora, as an African diaspora. But I think that the fear of that, the American Negro and the ascendant of the ADOS is the apex of the world. I don't care what nobody say. We make this thing shake, and they are so petrified of us, because they know that if the ADOS get a hold of any technology, anything, because of our resilience, because of our strength, our empathy, there's so many things that have been molded into us that they know that if we get a chance, we're going to take over. Right. And when we take over, their fear is that we're going to lock them out like they locked us out, and that is everyone's fear. Right, that's just to put it. They scared because they know that, like myself, I'm slowly creeping, y'all. I'm quiet, but I'm slowly creeping as well. Right, I'll go HBCU like they used to. Right, I'm going Cal State, LA, big dog school. Right, or to get the name right and continue to go get the PhD and do like they used to do it. And before you look up, George owned a bunch of stuff, and he head of this company. You're like, damn, where he come from? That's how they used to do it. And I think that, and then, but not just that, as I move along the way, I'm going right to my local community, and I'm starting community events where I'm pulling in young at-risk youth, fresh out of retention centers, right? Because it's important that we change lives. Yeah. However, and not be fearful that your protege is going to be bigger than you. I think that would have been, if Martin Luther King would have kept, or Malcolm X would have kept that same sentiment, we'll still be drinking in white and black fountains, man. We'll still not have the liberties because they thought of everybody, right? He didn't just think of African Americans, y'all. He was fighting for African Americans, right? But he was thinking of the world as a whole and what it would look like if it lacked discrimination, right? And I think that we have to, I was just telling my buddy about this with the immigrants and everything, kind of the sentiment to what Black Liquor said. I'm not going to necessarily go out there and protest, but I know how I'm voting if immigration on my ballot, what it looks like for us to be a sanctuary city, If that's there, I'm voting for the immigrants, right? I'm voting to stand with them. That's how we need to be entering into everything we do when it comes to women in politics, when it comes to everything that pushes this country forward. Even if we don't necessarily agree with it, we need to be thinking as a whole, right? And especially as the African American. But like Black Liv said, I just don't think it's going to happen because they are all fearful of the ADOS. And I would be too. Right. We changed the world. There is no such thing as civil rights. There is no ending of the apartheid, y'all. Right. We changed the world. And that is the real reason why the immigrants are so upset right now. Yeah. Because they know if we were out there on the front line with them, it changes the it changes the trajectory of this fight. Of course. Right? Because we understand what it looks like, and we understand how to navigate through tough times like this. And so it just goes to show you the time that we're in. And I would love to see it, but I think it has to be a fine plan. It has to be a fine plan. I think almost like down to a contract of what's going to look, what it looks like when you get this much money, what it looks like, how you. I think you have to finish the 2 years of school before you even see any chicken. That's how I would do it, right? And then I'll set you up with your land. If you want to go into if you go to school to get a trade, I'll set you up with a business where you can do plumbing, HVAC, or whatever. If you go into agriculture, I'll set you up with the land, like Jill said, where you could do the farming and everything. And we'll give the stipends and grants there. And then we'll create you a family trust and then dump you about $200,000 in there. That way, we created you some generational wealth. We got you some money, and we put you some money in some.
Having to get a 2-year degree. I mean, that's one thing, but at the very, very least, you should have to take at least a 1 or 2 month financial literacy course.
Absolutely.
that basically teaches you about investment, money management, things like that.
Yeah. I agree, man. You guys hit some points, y'all. Y'all right, y'all. I ain't got no complaints. I ain't got nothing against y'all on that one. Hey, all right, man. Let's get into the next. What's up? Tani and Keith is on here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Appreciate y'all
in the house. Let's go.
Gussie's in the house. What's up, Gus? Hope everything's good. I ain't talk to you in a minute, girl. I'm gonna have to give you a call. See what's up with you. All right, man. It's that time again, dear brothers and sisters. We got one for you, and you know I got a video for you too. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Oops, where'd I go? What's up there?
I need y'all to answer this question for me. If a woman's been talking to you for 8 months or so, loyal to you, only kicking it with you, you fall asleep with her on the phone every night. Yes, I said it. Every night. Answers all your calls, unless it's petty arguments or whatever the fuck, and they're trying to prove a point or something, but doesn't disappear on you. Could share location at any given time. Want something real. At what point in time do you feel the man should lock in? Because the man doesn't want to lock in. Why wouldn't a man lock in if he has that? I want your honest opinions. Why wouldn't a man lock in with a good, faithful woman or anything? It could be for me, it could be for anything else. But why do y'all men not lock in? And then when women act crazy, y'all want to call us hoes or shit. Why? What's the problem? Okay, guys.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Y'all stupid.
She mad.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Why wouldn't you lock in on that? No.
Wow, man.
All right. Get professional.
I'm locked in.
Get professional. Who want to go? Who want to go first?
I don't care. Fat boy, I can go. It don't matter to me.
There you go.
Jill just said it.
Jill just said it.
He doesn't want you.
Jill just said it.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I think sometimes that the level of
yeah, Heather, I see you on that message. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Follow. Go to the next one. The next comment.
Can you? What? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
I can see now. She crazy.
Type shit, Jack. I agree.
I don't. No.
She's not
crazy. No.
But here's an
issue. She has a real concern. She has a real issue as to going through a certain amount of time with a guy and not actually, the guy not actually committing to the relationship.
That's not why she sounds crazy though. That's not valid. I think that she's not all the way being honest of her level of loyalty, or she's not all the way being honest with her level of space and security that she provides this man. It may seem that, but are you really asking these men, is that what you like? I think that a lot of people think that they provide more to a relationship than they actually do. And instead of asking their mate the actual question on why haven't you committed, you created an attitude. Well, I think it could be that he doesn't like her, like Jill say, but I think it could be that her expectations or the way that she responds to certain things may give him second thought.
Well, this is when it comes to having communication with the person that you're with. Shout out to for Ashley X Bar Theory. Just so give her credit for this question. Go ahead. I kind of get what she's saying, but I don't agree, because you're basically asking a question that you should be talking to that person with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You should, and the question is, are you having the conversation with this person that you're so-called feel like that you spend a lot of time with?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're basically wanting a real relationship, you know what I'm saying, you should already automatically know that that's where y'all going from the beginning. from the first month, the 2 months or 3 months that y'all together. You know what I'm saying? You know if that person is going to lock down a relationship and not just string you along. So so basically what I would have advice for her is just look for the red flags. You know what I mean? There's red flags when it comes to someone that you've been with for 7, 8, 9 months or a year, to the point where that person is not committed yet, that you haven't opened up your eyes to see. So you got to have that, you know, communication with that person or whatever in order to understand or in order for you to go on or go forth. You know, go forward with someone else or you know, break up, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some people are so afraid of being by themselves that they do all this extra committing to them or whatever, but not getting reciprocated back. It's not coming back to them, and that's a red flag. So you obviously had to be going through something or whatever for that person not to even suggest y'all to be together for 8 months. And you probably been sleeping with him. You probably been cooking for him. You probably been going to pick him up. You probably even paid a bill of his or whatever the case may be. But you didn't have the conversation, the right conversation before you paid the bill, before you cooked for him, before you went and picking him up for work, whatever. You didn't do that. Because if you did that, you wouldn't have this question right now.
So, Phil, you work in sales, right? What's the number one rule?
As far as what?
Sales.
You
got it. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, the number one rule is finding out what the customer needs, what their wants.
Okay,
what their wants and needs are.
But after that, you got to ask for the sale.
Well, true that. Yes.
Exactly. And when I was working for Gateway, right, they was like, you should ask for the sale at least 3 times in a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not asking this man or this woman, hey, what's going on? How you gonna close the deal if you're not asking for the sale?
Right. That's a good point of knowledge. Yes.
Hello.
Exactly.
I mean, you up here talking on social media about locking in, and you ain't asking for the sale. And just like somebody else said in here, Heather said,
don't go ahead. Don't go ahead.
Rob says no, but if we're talking about her, as we can see, she's very attractive, so something is up. True.
Yeah. The something up is the fact that she's not having the right conversation with this person.
Exactly.
You know, she's assuming she's the relationship is all on assumption of whatever that you're doing with this person, however long time you're spending with this person. You assume that this person wants you in a relationship or should want you in a relationship and lock it down. You know what I mean?
The problem is she didn't ask. And if the answer was wrong, you have to be willing to walk away. Something's trash about her. Either she can't cook or bedroom problems. Come on.
Right. Well, it goes right back to, did she ask? Did she talk to her?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, you crazy, man. But, that's for real, though.
Yeah, and Jill says when you find the one you want, you will lock it down. Also, there are some people that just don't want a commitment. Exactly. That is true.
And you got to be okay with that. You got to understand that. You know what I mean?
Once again, you have to be the biggest point of power that you can have is the ability to walk away.
Yes, that's what.
And Heather just hit it. He's not that into her, and she needs to walk away. That is exactly correct. If you're not willing to commit and lock it down, then you got to walk away.
Oh, Heather. I think that's kind of the vibe I got from her as well too. Is she sounded clingy and demanding and bossy? You know, because like I said,
for her, I think it was her New York accent.
That
accent right there was like, okay, I ain't.
Yeah. And it was more of the clingy part that I kind of pick up. You know, because it's kind of like I said, you're spending a lot of time with somebody or whatever, and you don't, that person ain't trying to lock you down. That person don't want you.
Exactly.
You know, and you have to understand that and be okay with that or whatever, and
be
move
willing
on.
To walk
Especially
away.
if she's an attractive woman. I'm sure she can, move on. But sometimes people are afraid. They get comfortable with someone and they're afraid to go and start all over with somebody else and start out not understanding that this person that you're with is not good for you or good with you. You know, so You know, that part. O said that facts. Rob said
Jill, true.
Yeah. And Gussie's in the house.
Gussie Gus.
Just because I love you and you love me doesn't mean we're meant to be. What's that?
Lions,
Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
Oh my. Lions,
true.
tigers, and bears. Oh
That's
my.
True. Gus. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate you tapping in. So yeah. So I think the thing with her is that some people get upset because they're not asked to be in a commitment and they've already poured their part out to them. You know, they already did this, but she didn't look for the red flags or whatever. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Heather said, no, it's not her accent. I married a New Yorker. She is demanding, aggressive, and bossy. That man does not want her. Exactly. I get you, Heather, but I'm just telling you, look, if somebody that talked like that came up to me talking like that with that accent, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're a little aggressive. I'm gonna need you to
extra.
Yeah, you're a little extra. I'm gonna need you to back off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right, man. Well, we hope we answered y'all questions. You got anything, Fat Boy?
That's it, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man, for tapping in. Heather, Black Liv, Gussie Gus in the building.
In the house.
Big old Jack, Marlon, man. I love every last one of y'all. Love my co-hosts, of course. Great topics, great conversation. And if you have any dear brothers, dear sister, make sure you send a 30-minute clip, no longer than a minute, to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. And make sure you title it Dear Brother, Dear Sister. And we're looking forward to hearing from y'all. I love y'all. See y'all next week.
What you got, Liv?
Hey, I love y'all, my boys, my fellas, my guys. Hey, thanks for everybody that tuned in and tapped in. I love y'all. And hey, everybody that's on here, I need y'all to tell one person, tell two people, tell three people. Let's go on and build this thing up. Like I said, we're here to help. I love doing this. You know, my cuz.
What's up, cuz?
We're just trying to build this thing up.
Exactly.
Thank y'all very much.
Once again, happy birthday to our cuz Arvin.
Happy birthday.
Arvin Thompson is out there in the house. So any of y'all that's been watching, you know what I'm saying, and call my cousin and tell him happy birthday. Y'all know who y'all are watching. Aunt Curl, Aunt Tani,
Kathy Pitts, love you too. Look, hey, JS Chick in the house.
JS Chick in the house. That's what's up. Also, man, I want to say to Rhonda, she Dr. C, she may be in next week.
Bad weather.
Yes, she's got bad weather going on there and power going in and out. So she didn't want to tap in and, you know, have to be tapping in and out type of thing. So hopefully, you know, you'll be safe. If you're hearing us, listening to us, we love you. We want to make sure that you're safe. You know, if you need a place to stay, if you had a tornado or something, you know, come to Cali. come on through Cali. Come back to Cali. No, but for real though, be safe. You know, we love you. And hopefully see you next week. That's what's up. That's gonna do it for me, man. If y'all ain't got anything else, then we pretty much out. And remember, if they talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
All our illusions will get the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We know.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.